Hello. testing, testing. 1, 2. Apologies for the delay. I had to get tea. Um, Today is green tea and pomegranate. So looking forward to this new flavor. No idea. I hear the pomegranate is particularly bitter. So yeah, let's let that steep into my glass of hot water that I have microwaved for 2 minutes. Oh, it's changing colors. Okay. So it's one of those change colors keys. Good. Good. Excellent. I'm going to give it like 35 seconds for some people to get in. I'm going to give it a good 35 seconds. And that's definitely not an excuse to let my tea steep. And I'm just saying that I'm giving y'all 35 seconds when in actuality, I'm just trying to get this tea to steep. No, that's not what's happening. I'm just giving y'all 35 seconds to get in. No underlying reason. Yeah. Also today, Nutty Buddy bars. Nutty Buddy bars, which I've learned today are very different from Nutter Butter. Very different from Nutter Butter. Good morning, pretty and black. Petty looks 15. Okay, I'll take it. It's better than 38. That's a very specific age I got recently. 38. Good afternoon, Phoebe. Welcome, Coffee. Glad to see that you caught your first live. Awesome. Hello, Panda. So Panda must be done with school because now I see you more regularly. It feels like you took a hiatus and then you just got back and now you're back. Just a reminder that my team did win the sex work debate over on Themis's channel, I think 1 or 2 years ago against Panda. There was a misconception that Panda and her team won. That is actually false. There was a recount. Welcome, Level Up Single Mom, the other MJ. Kyoko Pop, yay, you made a live. Okay. N 5 N15, Shania has made a live. And Stella. Okay, so a couple of people are in. Today is, I think, a heavier topic. So I'll give a trigger warning. Although I read that trigger warnings actually make whatever trigger it is worse. I read that somewhere. I don't know where I read it. So grain of salt. Yeah, I read it makes it worse. I was like, oh yeah, the research is out. Actually putting trigger warning on your video makes it even worse for the person because they see it and get anxious. And I'm like, I don't know. If you see a sign that says caution and you get anxious, I feel like that's different than actually seeing the thing that it's cautioning you. Anyway, I'm not going to get canceled today. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this Nutty Buddy bar. We can get into this ASMR. I'll play my intro and we can talk. Honestly, I just keep missing live. YouTube notifications are ghetto. Got it. Turn those bell icons on, y'all, because I go live every Monday, Friday, Wednesday, once a week, 2 times a week, 0 times a week. They're completely random. So completely random. Yes, it is an early live. One of my friends says he misses all of them because he has to work. He's a police officer and he does the evening shift. He says he's making a difference, and that's why he does this. And, you know, I didn't need to give y'all all those details, but there they are. So let's get into the video. Okay, so as I take a bite into this Nutty Buddy bar, okay. It is great value. It is not the name brand. It is not the name brand. Um, I think the title of this stream is What to Do When You're Overwhelmed. And I just think it was an important thing we should talk about after a conversation that I had yesterday with one of my close friends, who told me that she feels very, very. I've already given a trigger warning, right? Yeah. So trigger warning if I haven't given that yet. We will be discussing depression and probably suicide and other themes like that. So if you feel at risk of something, let me see if I can find the depression hotline or the something like that I can put on the screen since it's a sensitive topic. Um, there. Feel like I probably should have done this before the stream started. There we go. So I'm going to add that to the screen in case anybody needs it or doesn't know it. Even if you don't need it today, probably it's there just in case. Wow, this tea tastes very terrible. Okay, so what to do when you're overwhelmed? And this comes after a conversation I had with my friend last night who revealed to me that she was depressed, which I already knew and we've talked about before, and possibly suicidal. And this isn't the first conversation I've had like this before. Um, Particularly with my women friends. My male friends have voiced to me struggles before, but they're much more closed about it. So they're not as intimate in their sharing of details. I remember one of my male friends just said that, oh, he had an attempt earlier this year. And that was during a period when we weren't talking a lot, because I can go like months between talking to my friends. Not because I don't like them or anything, but I don't know. I guess we're all just avoiding attachment. So yeah, I mean, we get back together after a couple of months and everything's like the same. It's not like our friendship just dies over months. Like it still feels like a very strong friendship, regardless of how much or little time is in between us talking. But I don't know. It just feels very jarring to talk to someone that you haven't talked to for a while and to learn that it could have, the last time you talked could have possibly been the last time you talked to them, because they maybe tried and failed to do something to themselves. And um, I remember talking to him about that briefly, and then we sort of just moved the conversation past that. He didn't really seem like he wanted to stick on it. And although I'm very concerned if someone says something like that to me, I'm also trying to understand um, what my place is as far as dealing with someone else's trauma or depression or mental health struggles, and not overstepping and like trying to force them to have a conversation that they don't want me to have. Pearl says this was right on time. I was feeling swallowed. Yeah, he was swallowed up, so to speak. He was swallowed up. Okay, no, serious time. Sorry. But I'll try to be serious. I know I'm not like the best at that, but I do think this is a serious topic. So he didn't nothing happened with him, by the way. He's still alive and kicking. And I check in periodically, but again, it doesn't feel like he's very open to discussing that and dealing with that outside of voicing it to me. So I show support in the way that I feel like I should, which is being there for him open and inviting to have conversations like that, recommending therapy or mental health help, um, or a professional who can help him. Because he's very wealthy. He's a lot wealthier than me, at least, and so he has resources to. I know not everybody has resources to like get a psychologist or anything like that, but he has resources. So I try to like guide him towards something that might be helpful to him. I think, what's it called? Psychology Today. I know we know them from the Single Lonely Man article, but they actually have a lot of resources as far as finding a therapist, psychologist, a psychiatrist if you need medication and stuff like that. And I think that actually was something we discussed. He was on Seroquel or something, and he said the medication made him react like bad. It was a bad reaction for him, um, which I don't think the medication itself is bad, but everybody reacts to something different, and some people can't tolerate what other people can. So I just think he had a bad reaction to it, and I think like all of this I think contributed to his attempt, and so yeah, there's not much for me to say about that. Unfortunately, he's not very open when it comes to conversations like that. So we kind of just move past stuff like that when it comes up in conversation. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I don't feel like it's my place to force someone to um like I don't it feels improper for me to say, no, forget this conversation. I'm not moving forward until you discuss this with me. Like I don't know if that's proper. Maybe that's something I can discuss with my own therapist, or like Google. I can Google it today probably and see like is what's the appropriate thing for me to do if someone's expressing that and they don't want to discuss it, and is it more helpful for me to try to push them to, or to just continue with conversation? Because I know not everybody wants to talk about that. Like some people have an attempt and that's the last thing they want to talk about. Maybe they want to talk about, I don't know, their favorite sport or hobby, or like anything to take their mind off of that, and maybe discussing it makes them relive it. Like I don't know, so that's something I can research and do better on. But currently I'm kind of letting him lead conversation like that. When it comes up, it just doesn't come up, um which is concerning to me, but that's all we're talking today. So to move past him, because that's not what the video is about, actually it's about the conversation I had last night with one of my woman friends. I do find that women tend to be more open when they are going through something mentally and emotionally. And it never feels like I have to push someone to discuss something. The mental or emotional turmoil someone's going through when it comes to my women friends, in the way that I have to when it comes to my male friends. So, um, like I said earlier, she told me she was depressed and possibly suicidal, which is a little different than what she's told me before, because she's told me about kind of themes of, I guess, purposelessness. I don't know if that's a word, not having purpose. And I guess kind of going through life dully without purpose, and feeling like maybe you would be better off if you weren't here. I do want to give a trigger warning for people who might have just hopped in, since you might not have heard in the beginning, but we will be discussing depression and suicide a lot throughout this stream. So that warning is there for anyone who needs it. Um, and I will open the panel in case some of you want to come up later, because I do think I'd like my audience to be like well and doing well and feeling open to share stuff, and like this is a safe space if they feel unwell. Um like I would hate it if someone in my audience were going through something and just alone, and we have a community, so we should use it and utilize it, right, so that we are reaping the benefits of community and not feeling isolated. um But last night, I'm feeling well, by the way. I'm feeling okay. So I'm not having like a mental struggle today, but I'm also medicated and I go to therapy. So I'm like tackling my depression and other issues that I have mentally. Um, and I've been like in therapy for a really, really long time, not necessarily to discuss depression every day and I want to unalive myself every day, but I just think therapy is a good tool that more people should utilize generally, even if you feel like nothing's going on. Um, so she said she was depressed, possibly suicidal, which is different because she's always said that she doesn't feel like she wants to be here, or maybe it would be better off if she wasn't here. And whenever we go deep into this, she doesn't describe it like wanting to unalive herself, but like if a car came around the corner and she was in the wrong place, she doesn't think she would mind. So she doesn't have like, I guess, an inclination to cling on to life if something like that were to happen. I don't think she would mind in the way that she describes it. Um, and So we discussed that for a good bit over like the past year or so. Just the idea of her not wanting to be here, but not necessarily wanting to unalive herself. Um, that's something that I feel like is above my pay grade, but it's also something I'm willing to discuss um, with my friends if they'd like to and talk about and flesh it out. She has her own therapist who she talks about this with. Um, and she also medicates herself. And I think she's doing an excellent job of taking care of her mental health. But yesterday was just one of those days where you slip. And sometimes it's inevitable that you might slip up one day and you might not be able to handle everything. Um, and she tried to describe what she was feeling a little more. And she said something like yesterday she was just um, unable to hold back her mental struggles anymore. And she described a feeling. I'm not going to say what act she was talking about specifically, but she was talking about a physical act where she would get exhausted um, physically. I don't know if exhaustion is the right word, but she would be, due to like physical stress, she would be unable to hold back her mental struggles. So I'm just trying to say that it wouldn't be like a mental overload and it just blows up, but rather a mental stress that she's just having consistently and kind of blocking consistently. And I'm sure a lot of us do that. And then, one day she'll describe instances where she's doing something physically taxing, and because of that she starts crying, and the people think she might be crying because she's physically tired or something like that, but she describes it more like, no, these are emotions that I bottle up every day of my life, and they just come to a head and burst out because I no longer have like the physical strength to hold back the mental load, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't be because of a lack of mental strength, but rather a physical one. I don't know if I'm describing it very well, but like, I don't know, maybe you guys have had a very, very physically exhausting long day at work. And I don't know what it is about being physically exhausted that makes it difficult to hold back mental exhaustion as well. So I don't know if I can relay that to you guys better, but that's how it was. Thank you, Miss Audio, for the super chat. I do think this is a great topic. I don't think you guys should send super chats for this one. I can see everything that you're commenting. I'm just trying to get through the meat and potatoes so we can open up the panel, but I don't want you guys to feel like you have to donate. I'm also doing okay. I know someone asked that earlier, but I'm doing okay. I'm feeling well. I'm not feeling like I'm unalivey or anything like that. So just wanted to clear that up. So I did something that I think a lot of us do after she told me that, and I told her a story of my own. And let me just say, it's when I do this, I don't know how this is in your friendships or if you guys do this, but if someone's telling me something, I will tell them a story of my own where I feel like this is something that I'm also experienced, and I'm trying to show you, oh, I kind of understand what you're saying because this is something that happened to me that I think is like adjacent to what you're saying. So I'm not doing it to one up you or be like, oh yeah, well, I have a worse trauma story. Like, it's not like that. It's just a way to show solidarity. Hopefully that makes sense, because I feel like sometimes people might be like, I'm telling you about my thing and you just go and talk about your thing. Why? But it's like I'm just trying to show you I understand. And storytelling is, I guess, the way that I do that. Um, and I told her about when I joined the army, and like kind of the reasons why I joined the army and how my life was before I joined the army. Um, and it was like I like grew up in a really, really small town in the middle of nowhere. And in my town, everybody just kind of goes to high school. Then after high school, they go and work at McDonald's or at a factory or whatever, and they kind of just stay in that town and have kids, and then their kids grow up and stay in that town, and then their kids grow up and stay in that town. It's very mediocre where I like was born and raised. Very small, uneventful, just mediocre thing. Just like a bunch of poor people living in poverty, doing that over and over again, generation after generation. Um, and I think that's how my life was. I do think my mom afforded me a much better life than when she grew up. And my grandma gave her a much better life too, based on what I've seen in my family history from my great grandma and how they were living. Um, they were living like trash. They were living in poverty, which like it's a small town in the middle of nowhere. It's very racist, very sexist. It's a lot going on. So I understand why black people in this like little white country southern town where you can't go on certain parts of town. I don't know if we're a sundown town or not, but it was kind of giving that very segregated, very sexist, a lot going on. And so although my mom gave me what I think is a much better lifestyle than what she had growing up, um, I still think I was kind of in that cycle of I'm going to grow up here and have kids, and they're going to grow up here. Like, I feel like I didn't really have direction in life. I don't think I was like going to college or like after high school. I'm pretty sure I got my first job at McDonald's, and I think I got paid like something really mediocre, like $7 an hour. I was like, oh my God, it's the most money I've ever had in my life. And um, until I had to like buy gas because I had a really big SUV that takes too much gas. Um, Entirely too much gas, y'all. And that was before gas was like, I was complaining about gas when gas was like $2, y'all. It was crazy. It was crazy, y'all. Now it's like four. I don't know. But anyway, nah, gas was too high. It's always been too high. I know that much. Um, so I was like, oh, this actually isn't a lot of money. So I like started getting in like a poverty cycle. I think I worked some random jobs. I think I like gave out samples in Walmart. I don't know if you guys know that guy. Hey, you want to try some of my samples? Yeah, we have some. So we have a new lemon tea. If you want to give this a try, the little cups. Anyway, yeah, just like really, really weird jobs, just like very not high paying or not a lot of hours. And that's what I was doing. I was just living with my mom after high school, just working minimum wage jobs. And my life was kind of going nowhere. I don't know if I felt like this at the time, but looking back, I feel like I was kind of in the same cycle that I just told you guys about. Um, and again, I am okay. I know some of you guys are in the chat asking, I am okay. This is just a story, a very long story that I told my friend after she was telling me her story about being physically unable to hold back mental struggles. Um, so that's what I was doing. And then I met some girl and we dated. She was my first love, and she got pregnant somehow. Somehow, like I actually don't know how it happened. We used birth control, like every type of birth control. I think we used every kind of literally every kind of birth control. She was on birth control. I used protection. We got a plan B out. Like, I feel like we were really, really paranoid because it was like my first time doing anything with anybody ever. And she was kind of the same. So we were both really, really paranoid about like pregnancy and stuff like that. So we used 4 condoms at the same time. No, I'm playing. But Yeah, even though we used all that, she still ended up pregnant, and we found out like months later because she was getting sick and stuff. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but the first thing girls do whenever they like throw up or something is like, oh my God, let me take a pregnancy test. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. That's actually funny to me. Oh my God, my stomach feels weird. Am I pregnant? Like y'all don't even, do I have low iron or do I need to chew some ice or something? No, straight to like, let me get the pregnancy test. I don't know why, but she was pregnant. And I remember we were going in, I didn't want a child at the time, but I remember looking at the ultrasound and being like a small town country boy, just looking at my daughter in her stomach and the little x-ray thingy moving around and being like, oh, um, I should do better. So I think we know our bodies. Yes. Okay. So that's what it is. I was like, I should do better. And I think that really, really motivated me to do something different. Um, and actually do better. And I think for the first time in my life, I had like real purpose, like real meaningful purpose. And I didn't realize how purposeless and kind of hamster wheelie my life was until that, because I was like, okay, I should do something. I should apply to colleges. I should try to join the military. I should like do better for my daughter. The first thing I wanted to do before college was joining the military because I thought that all of my family is military. So that's always what I thought I would do anyway. Literally all my family is in the Army or Marine, Coast Guard, Air Force, like all of them, all of them. So I was like, okay, well, um, I'll go and join the military. I think I tried to join the Coast Guard because that's what my close family's in. I can't swim. I couldn't swim at the time. I don't think I can swim now. It's been a while, but and also the Coast Guard requirements are extremely stringent. And I have scars on myself that look like self harm. So I had to get a self harm waiver, which requires you to go through your medical history. They'll check and make sure you don't have a history of harming yourself or any self inflicted harm or anything like that. And then you have to do psych evaluations. And I remember that process taking an extremely long time, and eventually I was denied. Like it didn't matter that I had a good history. It didn't matter that I had good psych evals. I was still denied. I went and tried to get that appealed, and that was denied. So I think some Army recruiters were talking to me and some Marine recruiters, and they were like, "Hey, we don't have high standards like the Coast Guard does. You can get in tomorrow if you apply today." So I applied, and I got denied, and then I had to go through the I had to go through the process all over again of getting the psych valves and the waiver and stuff, and that got denied again. And I remember this getting denied over and over and over again. And eventually it went all the way up as high as it could go, and it got denied. And so that was it for my military career. Like I was like, okay, whatever. Um, and somewhere throughout all of this, my daughter ended up passing away. And I remember bottling up a I remember not really reacting to this. Um, my child's mother was very devastated, and I remember being, I'd say, strong in this time and stoic. Um, and I didn't know at the time that I was bottling up a lot. I was bottling up a lot, and sometime after this, sometime after this happened, um, I think Trump got into office, and Trump was doing some wild stuff. And I remember the country thinking that we were going to go to war with North Korea or somebody. And because Trump used to be, I remember before he got banned from Twitter, he used to be on Twitter all the time. And the country was watching because this man was like, man, fuck Kim Jong-un. I'll nuke that nigga tomorrow. Um, Trump used to say some wild stuff on Twitter. And so I feel like everybody thought we were going to war at the time. Trump was making enemies with everybody. I remember Democrats were really upset about this and they were like, we should be kind. And Republicans were like, oh my God, no. Obama used to bend over and kiss people's feet. We need somebody who's gonna like be aggressive and show these other people we not afraid and we don't take no ish. And I think that loosened the standard around military enlistment. And my waiver was pushed through, and I was actually approved to join the military. I think that's very common. Like I'm pretty sure during World War I or World War II or the Vietnam War or the Korean War, like stuff like once we're going to war, I think the standard around the military relaxes because people now we need bodies. So who cares if you have leprosy? Like we don't need you to live that long anyway. Um, so I actually got into the military, and I remember this. I remember it came at a weird time because I had already resigned to doing nothing because I the whole reason for me joining the military was to have a better life for my daughter. And after she passed away, I don't think I don't think I felt a purpose to join the military anymore. I think I had resigned. I think I had resigned to just staying in my hometown and doing nothing and just like it's fine. I'll go back to McDonald's or wherever and just do nothing for the rest of my life. Like I mean, what's the point? That's I think that's how I felt. And I'm okay today, guys. It's just revisiting that feeling. But I'm okay today. I've come to terms with it and I've dealt with the grief and I've had a lot of therapy related to that. So it's just sad to revisit that grief because I think I resigned after that. I didn't realize it at the time, but I resigned after that to just stay in my hometown and do nothing for the rest of my life. Um I didn't realize how much purpose having a daughter brought me and how much it motivates people to do better. I'm not a mother, but obviously I've seen single mothers, especially like working 2 or 3 jobs and like endless amounts of hours just to provide a better life for their child. And I've always wondered like how. Um, but I think having having a daughter kind of gave me a, a glimpse, like just a glimpse into it for a moment of what it's like to have a purpose like that. And then lose it. And to be without purpose again, and to realize that you don't have purpose because before that I don't think I realized that I didn't have direction and purpose and like anything like that. And losing her, I think, really made me realize how empty life was before that. So getting this news of the acceptance into the military at this time, into the army. I This was for the army, not the Coast Guard or Marine, like I mentioned earlier. But it was very bittersweet. I remember sharing it with my child's mother, and we crowed. We crewed together. We both crowed. And yeah, she said she'd support me with my decision, and we decided to. Right, we were still together after everything, but I think the relationship was very, very strained. We weren't the perfect we weren't the perfect pair before, but like that I think really, really strained us a lot more. Um, but we decided to make a commitment to doing better and like what our life might look like after the military, because the military it affords you opportunity. Even though I believe it's after going through it, I believe it's very racist and sexist. And I mean, it's like the real world. It's just people from the real world, but they have green uniforms on. So it is what it is. But it does afford you, free college and free room, free food, and in exchange for your back and your knees, you can have a pretty nice lifestyle. So it's definitely give and take. And we decided to make the best of that. And I remember going to boot camp, and I went to Fort Jackson. And I remember going there. I'm not gonna put it on screen, but like they have photographers apparently that come through and sneak take pictures of you while you're training and doing different things. And they took one of me on my first day there, y'all. And I was like 18, I think 18 or 19. And y'all, I looked like 42 or something. Like I was really, really strained and sweating and dripping. They had us holding our girl. I don't know why I bought these suitcases to boot camp, because I didn't know what it was gonna be like. And I'm holding up like three. I'm holding up like three bags of luggage. Everybody else got one. I'm feeling real stupid. And my drill sergeants talk about, you thought it was gonna be a vacation. Look over here. He thought it was gonna be a vacation. And y'all know boot camp and the military in general, like it's not very good to have eyes on you. And usually if someone is looking at you, that means you're doing something wrong. So that made for a very hard life in boot camp. That made for a very hard life. But yeah, boot camp I think went through fairly smoothly. Very, very exhausting, very draining. It is what it is. I do quite literally think they break you down as a civilian and build you back up into a soldier who's supposed to go overseas and kill people or be killed without reaction, or watch your friends be killed without reaction, and then deal with that later once you get out the military if you survive, with the terrible healthcare system for veterans. So that's they trained you. They trained good for that. I'll give the Army their props. I don't know how it is in other areas. Air Force I hear is much better. Coast Guard I hear is much better. But yeah, okay, y'all can believe it's relaxing Jackson. That's exactly what the drill sergeant said. As soon as we stepped off, y'all probably heard this was relaxing Jackson. The drill sergeants took that as a the fact that they have that reputation, they took it as an insult, and they were like, don't worry, we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of that reputation. We're gonna make some examples today. No, it was not relaxing at all. They had a personal vendetta. But yeah, it was very tiring. And some of you in the comments said that y'all have been in the military. I think one of you said you were in the Army, and yeah, so it was like a regular boot camp. Fort Leonard Wood in the 90s. It was probably worse in the 90s. So it was just like regular boot camp. It's hard, but it is what it is. And I think there's one day in particular that my drill sergeant would always take us to something he called the dungeon. And the dungeon was literally just our bay, and he would have us push all our beds to the side, and he'd have like 20 to 50 people in here. My whole platoon, I don't think he ever brought the whole company in there, but he'd have my whole platoon in there. And he was like, this is the dungeon, and he'd smoke the shit out of us. He would smoke the shit out of us in there. Very physically exhausting. And he would always say, I'm gonna make the wall sweat. And he kept good on that promise, y'all. Them walls was perspirating with the amount of sweat we had in there. And those used to be the days that really got me, when he was like, all right, y'all can't follow instructions. What the mind doesn't understand, the body will. What the mind does not understand, the body will. Or some of you, a lot of y'all are black, I assume. Some of you know this better from your parents as a hard head makes a soft bottom. So whenever we mess up, they smoke the shit out of us, and they find any excuse to do us. If you don't know what smoking is, they torturing us physically. Nah, I mean they're making us do push-ups and other exercises, but y'all probably know that front leaning rest, a lot of that, amongst some other things. And one day he told us the dungeon is not the extent of the torture that he can put on us. He talked also about the arena, and then he talked about the Coliseum, where the arena is one step above and the Coliseum is the extreme. So he was like, this ain't even torture. Let me show y'all something, because I think we messed up. We fell asleep during a presentation. The Army has extremely boring presentations. But I think the sergeant major of the post was the one giving the presentation, him and his colonel or whoever he was with. So that's very high up if you guys don't know military rank. So the sergeant major of Fort Jackson was giving a presentation, and y'all, I remember like I was falling asleep and like my head like dipping, and y'all, it's tired. They be keeping us up like fucking 18 hours a day. We got 6 hours to sleep, and really 4 hours, because 2 hours of that is you got to do fire guard or pool security, and so like you get 2 hours of sleep, wake up and work for 2 hours, then go back to sleep for 2 hours. And y'all know you don't immediately fall asleep. So really you get like an hour and a half of sleep, then you wake up, and then you try to go back to sleep for 2 hours, and then it's daytime and it's time to work. So no REM at all, no REM sleep, um, no REM. So it's very exhausting. And he took us to the arena. Forgot why I was bringing that up, but he took us to the arena, and the arena was like this sand pit, and he had us low crawling, and in this hot ass sun, he had us low crawling, high crawling. We was running, we was in that front leaning rest position at a half right face. He had us doing all types of things in this sand pit, y'all, and it felt like legitimate torture. And I remember I was a heat casualty that day. So I think I passed out or fainted, and I woke up and my pants was off. My pants was around my ankles, and they were holding my legs above my head. And yeah, I remember that. I remember the drill sergeant was like, "Take his underwears off too." I was like, "Whoa, whoa. Wait a minute, sir. I'm not hard yet. That's not something. As a man, you should understand more than anybody. Flaccid should never touch the air when people are around. That's just common. That's just common courtesy." But no, these people pull my underwears off. I don't know why they have to get you naked, but and put my legs above my head, apparently, so the blood flow can go down. And I guess I don't know if the clothes make you hotter. I literally don't know. This could have been a joke. This literally could have been a prank or some shit. Because I feel like you can do this without taking my underwear and pants off. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, I'm pretty sure he made the whole platoon turn around, and it was just like two guys and him. So only 3 people saw my dick that day, if you don't include me. So it's fine. It's fine. Um, and I remember like being really, really tired, but he was done smoking us. So we yeah, like he was done. I'm pretty sure that happened after he was done, and he fell us out into formation. And as I was running to the formation, I fainted. Like I think I passed out while I was running. Yeah, I was confused too, but very compromising, very sus. So we got back to the bay, and it was around nighttime. So all of us, it was the boys in one bay. This was a co-ed boot camp, so all the boys were in one bay and all the girls were in a different building. So it was just me and like 40 niggas in a room. And I remember it's like late at night, so people are kind of talking amongst themselves, and I don't know why, but I was really, really, really tired. And this is where it finally tied into my friend talking about how she felt physically unable to hold back her mental struggles. I think I had no strength left in my body that day. Hey guys, it's not, hey, come on, guys. It's not abuse, just standard military. They don't haze in the military. That's against the law. Come on, guys. Come on. They wouldn't do that, would they? Something that against the law. Anyway, no, I was physically exhausted. I think I had no energy left in my body. And everything that I didn't even realize I was holding back um just overwhelmed me that day. Like I had no strength to fight it anymore. Um and for some reason, uh I found God in boot camp, by the way. Everybody finds God in boot camp or in jail or when they're overseas getting shot at. Everybody finds God. Everybody. Oh my God, Jesus, I just realized. Yes, because you need something, right? You need something to hold on to. Um, and I asked if anybody wanted to pray, and I think maybe 10 or 12 guys were like, yeah. So we were all in the dark and we all knelt around one of these guys' bunk beds, and we closed our eyes and I led us in prayer. Um, and I think I said, um, most gracious Heavenly Father, um, we ask you for we ask you for strength. We ask you for endurance. And I think I was literally breaking down and crying. Um, I think like I could barely get the words out of my mouth. I was shaking, and I was like, please, Lord, we're tired. I was very, very exhausted and I had like no fight left in me. So I was like, we're very tired. Um, I ask that you remind us of who we're fighting for back at home, and that we can think about our wives and our mothers and our daughters, our friends and our family, um, because we're tired, Father. So please give us the strength. Because it had to come from somewhere, y'all. It wasn't gonna come from me. So I needed it. But like I think everything just burst open that day. Like I was going through boot camp, everything was fine. I think we moved from red to white phase, if you guys know what that is. And I was like, the hard part is over, and it's just we just gotta make it through to the end now. We're so close, just a couple more weeks. Um, and at that point, I just didn't have it in me anymore. I was like, why am I even here? Um, why am I even here? My daughter is gone. I don't have anything to fight for at home. I don't have I don't have purpose. Why am I here doing this? It was, it was like I felt like quitting. I felt like just, you can't quit. Quitting in the military is like a long process. You don't get to say, oh yeah, I don't feel like it anymore and go home. Generally, generally that's looked down upon. But I was like, I'm fine. I'll go home. I'll go apply for McDonald's again, and I'll just do that for the rest of my life. I don't have to be ambitious. I don't have to make anything of myself. Um, I'm content with this. When I had a daughter, I wanted better things and I wanted a better life. And I didn't want her to experience what I grew up doing and be stuck in that cycle. But she's gone. So I'm fine. I'm fine. I can go home and I can just run on the hamster wheel for the rest of my life, and be mediocre. I'm fine with that. Cause I didn't have any strength to do better at that time. Um, so I asked God for it, and I believe God gave it to me. And I eventually made it through boot camp and into the regular military. And that's a separate struggle for another day. But that's the story I told my friends, just about being physically exhausted and repressing. I think prior to that, I had only ever cried over my daughter once before, and that was when I was accepted into the military. That was the first time I really let those emotions, and I didn't let them, to be clear. I just couldn't hold them back anymore. I didn't even realize I had been repressing this all of boot camp. the entire time I had been there, I had been repressing the thought in the back of my mind that what I'm doing here is meaningless and it has no purpose because um, I think my purpose died with my daughter. So I had this really visceral feeling of existential dread and difficulty moving forward. And I tried to communicate that I do feel that way. I have felt that way before. I think I've moved past that now. And I'm just crying today because like it's a very strong emotion, even in memory. So even though I don't feel that way today, and I do think my life today can be for it can be for it can be for myself. I was a lot stronger last night when I told this story to my friend. I think I got through it with less tears. Um, but it can be for me. Um, and it can still be for my daughter. Um, so I got a plaque with her. We had a image of her baby feet stepped in some stone. And I had that like memorialized in a I got a plaque that I keep on my bookshelf. Let me see if I can find it actually. Yeah, so I got a plaque. I'm gonna cover up the name, but her name was Naomi. Um, and it's might be hard to see, but there are her feet on the side there, and it says, "I'll hold you in my heart until I hold you in heaven." And I just carry this around. I didn't get I don't think we got her remains buried, and we decided not to. Me and the child's mother decided not to get a physical burial. Um so I just carry it with me, and I think it's a nice reminder that you can live for someone even if they're not still here. Um and that helps me move forward. And I do find purpose in that. Um, I think it's difficult to get to that point, but I do find purpose in that. And I do find meaning in life for myself. And sometimes it's in something mundane because I don't want a lot in life. I want to be able to do a lot. Like, I want to be able to do whatever I want. Like, if my friends are like, let's go to Miami, I want to be able to do that, or Egypt or somewhere. I don't know. I feel like everybody goes to Miami, so I need to go to Japan or somewhere that ain't nobody talking about. Oh my God, me and my babes just went to Japan. So, anyway, yeah, I just want the ability to do that. But I like mundane things, so I like portraits. So I might put a portrait of somebody on the wall. That's a very mundane thing, but I find purpose in it. Shopping for things that I might like to decorate the house with, or literally just picking the color of this coffee table that y'all can't see. Not coffee table, desk that y'all can't see that I stream off of usually. Or even just picking out like my hold up, y'all, because y'all need to see this actually. Y'all need to see this. Let me show y'all what I got from the TikTok shop. I showed y'all the TikTok haul I did when I got that jacket that disintegrated in a washing machine. that coat that was, like $1.95. But you pay for you get the quality you pay for. But I got this from the TikTok shop. This is purpose right here. I don't know what it says. It could say I hate niggers. I don't know what it says. I have no idea, but I like the aesthetic. Um, so I find purpose in stuff like that, just picking out stuff that I want. And I think I started living a more selfish life, which doesn't sound good, but I do think people should live more selfish lives. And if you can't find purpose and you can't find out why you're doing something, why am I going to work? Why am I even making money? What's the point of all this? Um, well, my purpose a few months ago was I want a nice keypad. So I went out and shot for it and got it. And then my purpose was I want a nice sweater. Like I don't think I have like a I'm going to be good to the world like Muhammad what's his name? Mahatma Gandhi or Buddha or somebody. I don't think I have like a very, very big, extremely grand, meaningful purpose. I think my purpose is to be comfortable and to be able to provide myself comforts. And I find meaning and purpose in that. And I also want to live a life that I think my daughter would be proud of. Um, and I guess my parents. I should say that first. I don't know if I care if my parents are proud of me. Because one of them is homophobic and the other one is like my mom was better. My mom was a lot better, actually. I'm not gonna do that to her. But my dad, um, I told my daughter about your jacket from TikTok. TikTok, yeah, I disintegrated, but it's extremely good quality. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Just never have to wash it, and you're good to go. So I see 29% of you said, "No, you're not okay." I am gonna open the panel now, so I just pinned it to the top. If you guys do want to hit the link, if you have something you'd like to share, or a way that you find meaning in life, or a struggle that you um, want people to know that maybe you experience or share with them, I think that would be cool. You don't have to come up and trauma dump if you don't want to. I do think we are safe here. I am planning to either members only this or private it. Until we have a 3,000 subscriber Q&A coming up where I will be 100% honest, as I always am in my Q&As, in my milestone Q&As. And once I do that, then I'll probably unprivate this, because y'all know I'm only true on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Y'all know I don't like the truth out there like that. I don't like people to know my life. So you are safe here if you'd like to share. If not, it is like 3 p.m. on a Saturday. So I don't know if y'all have already started Saturday activities. Mine tend to include niggatry. So I completely understand if you're already out and about. I'm going to play my after show thing and we can have a short after show if anybody did want to share. Oh my God, Prince Petty, you haven't touched your Nutty Buddy bar. It tastes better than my face made that look. Bills are not a motivator to go to work. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Welcome, Level Up Single Mom. We were supposed to review your book a long time ago. I feel like I actually planned that and like get it together. I know I'd be like, oh, I'm about to make a video or stream, and then I don't do it for 13 days, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
It's fine. I'm like a year and some change behind on stuff I was supposed to do for my own stuff, so don't worry about it. Um, I was waiting to see if anybody else came up, and I didn't want to like that was a lot you shared with us, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
And
oh
I
yeah,
just want
It's on you.
I just wanted to come up and tell you I love you and
Oh,
that I'm sending you so many hugs. And I'm not gonna like trauma dump like that. I do that. I've done that over on my channel. So if you want to see all my woos, you can go over there and like hear them in detail. But I will say, the last like 3 years, that's part of the reason I haven't been online because I've been going through like a myriad of things. And at some point, I'll be able to get it together enough to break that all down. And that would be way more than the time we have here. So I'm not going to do that here. But I will say I'm very glad that you found purpose in, like you said, being selfish. And I feel that. And that resonates with me. That's a big part of the reason I'm going to school because for a very long time, I felt like school was a luxury I couldn't afford for myself. Like I had to provide and be responsible and yada yada yada. So school is for me and I'm enjoying it. And I was actually doing my homework when you started this and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna just have some, fun niggatry in the background while I do my homework. So thanks for
oops,
that. I needed a break, I guess.
oopsie.
It's all right. No, no, no. That's
Should
perfectly fine. I'm glad,
should
to
should have
be here.
should have went with Family Guy clips. Sorry, my bad.
No, no, you're good. You're good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But love you, love you, love you, and keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I love you as well. I do want to share the channel. Level Up Single Mom has a channel. I was wondering. I guess you haven't gone live recently. I was because you said, and I was like, oh, am I missing the live?
Listen, I tried. I tried last week to do like a little get ready with me, and it just went completely wrong because I was doing a pre-record because I had a baby shower to go to, and I was doing makeup like for the first time in a long time, and I realized like at one point I wasn't talking for like 20 whole minutes, and I was just like, this is not going to work. So I don't know when or how, but just go there, subscribe, hit the button, and when I come back, you'll know.
I'm trying to make video essays, but I said that like 3 months ago, and here we are. So, I mean, I
That's
understand.
how it be. That's how it be. It's just something. But I'm telling because I have a lot of stuff going on. I went to school and we had orientation and they were like, "Oh, why are you? What major are you doing and why?" And I started to just say something, like whatever. And I was like, "No, I'm going to tell them about Level Up Single Mom and yada yada." So then the people that run the women's center there happened to be there and they were just like, oh, email us and yada yada yada. So now I'm going to be doing a couple events with them um for single parents and stuff. So it's just like you never know what's going to happen. So just be mindful and positive and believe in yourself and believe in your worthiness of happiness.
Thank you, and I shall, and I shall. Who came to
I'm
light?
gonna hop down now, let y'all talk, and I'll be still in the comments.
Thank you, guys. Be sure to check out Level Up Single Mom. She says she's about to hit us with content tomorrow. That's what she
Yeah,
said.
okay, whatever. Bye.
Welcome, Jamil, good friend of the channel.
What's going on, Prince Petty? Okay, I want to start off and say, man, I really appreciate you choosing to be vulnerable here in this public space.
Oh, this is going down. This stream is going down for a while. I mean, we'll have a Q&A soon, but
No, I mean, even if you put it away, the fact that there were like 60 people in here or whatever, and that you were willing to share your story and to share your heart and your vulnerability, especially as a Black man, I really appreciate that, and I want to acknowledge that and say from a Black man to another Black man, I'm proud of you for being willing to do that and to own your experience and to be able to share that with other people, man. So like I really, really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you have found a purpose for yourself. And I'm glad that you are continuing to take it day by day, even in experiences and times of overwhelm. Because it's hard. It'd be hard for real. And like Level Up Single Mom said, I don't want to also trauma dump, but I've had my share of experiences of uh, attempts of like self deletion for myself. So I definitely understand it. And so again, I appreciate you being willing to share, um, and sharing the fact that you persevered. And I know everybody's not necessarily a believer or whatever, but the fact that you even said you called out to God, and whatever, ever God showed up for you, he did, and he helped you through. So that's awesome, man. Just thank you for again being willing to share that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. I hope you're doing well now, and hopefully those thoughts don't persist. And if they do, we are here and we are in community. So,
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's a constant fight and progress for better. You know.
do you go to therapy or self help or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. I try to go to therapy as often as I can. I do have good friends that I usually reach out to when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I need to work through stuff. One of my main resources is just journaling in general. Like I spend a lot of time writing. Sometimes I'll do like vlogs. So like they have tons of videos of just me just venting, expressing myself and stuff. And that's been helpful for me. So on my channel, I talk about the importance and the benefit of having what I call an emotional release valve. And I think every person needs that. And so whether it's exercise, whether it's dancing, whether it's journaling, whatever, you need some way to get stress out. You need to be able to get feelings out, because if we carry that stuff around, um, it can start to break us down and overwhelm us, you know? So yeah, I think that's very important.
Thank you. I'll be sure to be looking out for content on the beneficial black man. Um, hopefully that's not jarring after what you just said and not too much as a shift. I did see you came out with Breaking Free from Delulu Land, and when I clicked on it, I saw in the description you were referencing Bourbon Bougie
Mhm.
and her same. I know she made one recently. I haven't watched them both yet, but I would like to use those both for inspiration for the video essay that I've been trying to do for a while, but just haven't brought myself to do. So
Yeah, man,
I am
go for
looking
it.
out for your videos.
I appreciate it.
So thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, same to you, man. I'm gonna hop down too, but thank you again. All right, I appreciate you.
Okay. Have a good evening.
You too.
Purple Lover, welcome.
Hey, hey, thank you for having me as always.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's extremely important. Just so you know, my father also went through the same thing. My mother had multiple miscarriages, as well as she had a baby to come to full term, and the baby didn't survive a day.
Mhm.
So my sister was close to my father because before I came along, the baby that was in between me and my sister was one that hit him the hardest. And so she kind of like lost my father for a period of time because he just had to mentally check out for a moment for him to get his bearings back again.
I'm
But when
sorry.
I
It
came
sounds
along, I think that,
it sounds a little muffled.
okay, hold on. Let me, does it sound better now?
I think so.
Hold on, let me do it this way.
1 second. Can you hear me better now this way?
Yes, you are loud and clear. Well, now I can't hear you if you're talking.
Okay, it's up as. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you. Well, now we can't hear you. Well, I think Purple Love is trying to set up. Mara, would you like to go while Purple gets there? Oh, are you with us, Purple? Oh, she left. Well, I'm sure she'll be back. But Mara, if you'd like to go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just want to say thank you, Petty, for having this live and being open with us and being vulnerable and sharing your story because I think this is, definitely really important. So I'm glad that you actually spoke and kind of, open your world for us for a little bit. It's good to see that side. I mean, you know, I'm someone who is currently kind of dealing with depression. I know this is kind of the season for it. Well, if you suffer from seasonal depression, but, and I think, community and just, finding spaces like this definitely helps. And I commend you for having this space and letting us in.
Thank you. To speak on seasonal depression, I'm not sure what that is exactly. It sounds like maybe around like, I don't know, later in the year it might be very difficult, and then other times during the year it's not as bad. um
Yeah.
I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, like for me, this is kind of the season where I start to kind of feel, a little down, gets, kind of gloomy and, it gets dark quick and, but I know for me definitely is definitely feeling overwhelmed. So that's what really drew me to your live of the title of definitely feeling overwhelmed, dealing with, you know, any goals that you have, and then you have some people who have that and then they're dealing with personal stuff, trauma. So it can definitely feel a lot heavy when you just have so much things, kind of tackling at once.
um and I mean, I'm not going to say that's good to hear, but um it is something that I find solidarity in, that it's not just me, because I felt later last year particularly, I don't know what it is. It just feels like for no reason almost, it's felt kind of doomy and gloomy. All of my friends have been feeling like more severe depression. I've been seeing more videos online where people are describing like purposelessness. Like, I don't know what it is about November, December that is just, I don't know, draining or something. But it does feel like it's felt um like more widely than I would have thought.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I even I have to think to myself like, is my vitamin D low? Because I know around this time, not a lot of sunlight, so I had got me some vitamin D to see if that helps out with my energy. Because I've definitely was feeling like energy deprived, just like not feeling like doing anything. But what kind of helps me is listening to my body, finding things that I enjoy doing, even if it's the little things. You're drinking tea, and tea kind of helps me keep going because I love tea. So like yesterday, I went to Walmart and got me some fun mugs that I liked, and made
Oh
me
yeah,
some tea.
this a Walmart mug, I'm pretty sure.
It's cute. I like the
Rest
shape and the
of, I
color.
think it's a Walmart or Target.
Yeah, and I think little things like that too definitely helps. When you're feeling low. But thank you.
Thank you for joining and sharing. Hope you're feeling well. I think Sean was next, then Tiff, and then we can get back to Purple Lover now that you're back.
Hey, Petty. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Welcome.
Yes. Okay. So, I wanted to jump on the bandwagon of everybody giving you praise and like thanking you for your vulnerability. But specifically, I want to thank you for your presence on Thema's show yesterday. So I really like Thema's show. I love Thema's show, except for when the title has like men in it. I don't know what it is about the men's panel. I get so much anxiety from like just like thinking about what's going to be said. And that guy that was on there originally, I couldn't even do it. But the moment you came up on the panel, I was like, oh my God, thank God somebody with some common sense, other than Themis, obviously, is
I
gonna
was.
be up here.
Thank you. I was pleasantly surprised yesterday, actually, with KD, and I know people are. I don't know if Obi's in his villain arc, but people aren't receiving Obi as well lately. But I do still like Obi. So I was pleasantly surprised with the men who came on after
Yes.
the one gentleman. I don't know. So I actually do enjoy his men's panels like this one specifically because I think it was I enjoy when Themis is exploring someone's ideas. It reminds me of when I first looked at his channel like years ago now. And I just remember him talking to Dean and Geraldine and all these men and really just like yesterday reminded me of that, like the exploration of, have you really thought about what you're saying? Have you thought about the implications? Have you looked at the research? Like genuinely curious about what these men are saying and why, and like really, really forcing them to flesh out their ideas. Now these other men's panels, I feel like we just invite the men on to laugh because we already know they're gonna
Yeah.
but
No,
this
I agree with that.
this one felt a little more old school. I did actually really, really enjoy it. And I do think he has very good debate prowess. So yeah, I really liked yesterday. But
No,
the other
Themis
men's
is
panels,
great. Themis is great at what he does. I don't know how he like picks people apart like that, but he's amazing. But it's like it's the for me it's like knowing that kind of male archetype and having interface with them in real life that is like anxiety inducing. That it's just, I mean, the panel was great, but it's just, it reminds you of like how many people are out there that think like that. I don't know, but it did get better towards the end. I did enjoy it at the end, but yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for that.
thank you. I enjoyed it as well. I'll endorse yesterday's. It almost had me having hope again for debate. Almost. But thank you, Sean. Hopefully you're feeling okay today as well.
Yeah, I feel better. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the chat now.
Thank you. Um, Period. We got a cameo. Tiffany, welcome. You're muted.
How are you?
I'm well. I haven't seen you in a while, Tiff. You've been going ghost on us.
Yes, I have. I'm glad you shared, and I also do not want to add to anybody's thing. What I will say is, I hope that you find a counselor. I hope that you're moving your body around, because if you don't, then you can end up like I. Um, I have fibromyalgia, which it's a chronic illness and chronic pain, but a lot of it was from stress, just being stress induced. So I'll always talk to you like I've told you before. I don't think I've ever seen a man outside of you cry. So it just does something. I know I tend to coddle, but I just wanted to just come up and share space and say, I appreciate you sharing. And it's brave. Oh, and my other thing was I wore my what you call this, head wrap, because the bonnet wars.
I
So
was just going to say,
this was an
Tiffany,
act of solidarity. This is an act of solidarity. I have my
you were one of the first people who made me feel like what I was doing online might have meaning. When you said you wore a bonnet to Walmart or somewhere, I was like, okay,
Mhm.
maybe we can make a change in our small ways.
It's a small. It doesn't seem like a small thing, but it helped me to be less judgmental. Just like listening to Vitamin, listening to Alicia, listening to Jamile. There are a lot of people that have sown seeds that have kind of brought me out of the respectability politics. I still climb the mountain every once in a while. But I just wanted to come up and just hold some space for you, let you know I appreciate you sharing. And I think you have a lot of people that care about you. And I hope you utilize that.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. It's all love here, bonnet or no bonnet.
I think I
Uh,
should get credit for this because y'all already know I
oh
don't
yeah,
believe.
Tiffany. This is all Tiffany. Prince Petty is all Tiffany. That's when I was like, okay, I'll keep doing it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was like, okay, there's I felt like the bonnet debates, I think they're private now, but I felt like
Mm,
they were useless in that we were just going to end up right where we started. Nobody was going to change their mind or come from it with a different perspective. Um, so, like, when you said you wore a bonnet wherever you wore it, I was genuinely shocked because, uh,
It's not a thing for me. I went to Walmart. I just walking in, I felt naked um, and uncomfortable. But everybody doesn't have a sunshiny day. We don't know what's going on with people. And if you're just barely making it to the store with a head wrap, like I don't have the space or the right to judge you. That's unkind.
period. I mean, I started judging people more this year. I'm not gonna lie. And Alicia had a certain effect on me. I don't know what it is, but I have less sympathy. So I'm going to try to, in your honor, be like more open, especially
Yeah,
after the live stream yesterday, which I felt like was more inquisitive than like
right.
um, diametrically opposed to the man over there, even though it was opposition. Maybe I can be more sympathetic and less like closed off. So
I
a
think it
general
would
general.
serve the community well. And when I say the community, I mean your service, your channel, Themis, Vitamin, myself, Wake Up Makeup. There's so many of us that we've been together now for some years. And we've had some growth and change, and different things have changed up. But I appreciate you sharing today. I really do. And I hope you get a good meal. I hope you have a glass of wine. Please do not go drink no damn Sutter Homes or no box wine. Don't do it.
I'm gonna
Give
try
yourself,
pink Moscato. I like Barefoot a lot. I really love Barefoot wines. I know it's like cheap, but it's like my guilty pleasure. So
well, I hope you have a guilty pleasure today
you're
and just take care of yourself. Get some rest, eat, and just process everything and give yourself the utmost love, because what you did today, that's an act of love when we share, especially when we share pain and we don't necessarily know how it's going to be received. So good job, young man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Tiffany. I'll keep up the good work, ma'am. Um, and I hope you're feeling well as well and being stress free, since I know you said that's what contributes the most. Um,
Mhm.
and although I said we haven't seen you in a while, I completely understand doing like social media detox and breaks, especially with
Yeah, it's
how the
just with everything that's going on. It's I'm glad I popped on and looked and I was like, oh, okay, let me see what's happening. Then I heard tears and I was like, oh no, let me go check, make sure you're okay. And then it's like, oh, I don't know why these people are in here talking about barefoot is clutch. Um, what y'all drinking now for locos? Like, come on.
look, Barefoot is a nice wine. It is very prestigious. It is very bougie. You'll see it in the finest establishments. You have to try some.
Okay, you know what?
Pink Moscato.
I'm sold. I'll make sure that we get some pink Moscato and I'll show you a picture. You know what? I might go to Walmart with my bonnet to get it and take a
Uh,
picture.
yeah, we could have a sip in we haven't done a movie review in a while. Maybe we can pick out a
It's been
movie
a minute. Yeah,
in the
we'll figure it out.
Discord.
All right. You're my little baby. I love you. We fight, but I love you and I'm proud of you.
And I love you, Tiffany. I do see Purple Lover is back as well. Thank you,
I'm gonna
Tiffany.
talk to you later, love.
Have a good day.
You
Purple Lover, you came with the heat. You said you had all the smoke today. You said you don't care about my story and my whining. We need men to be strong and hard, Purple Lover. What was all that you were talking about in the comments? You're on mute, by the way. Okay, since Purple of It isn't unmuting, I just made all that up. She didn't actually say that down in the comments. I was just like stoking the fire. But Purple Lover, you are muted. You can unmute at any time while I go through some of the comments. Thank you for all of the love in the comments. I'm gonna assume when you said I'm a beautiful person, you meant like soul, because rough is rough sometimes. So rough is rough sometimes. Vulnerability is not easy. So I'm going to decide whether or not to keep this up. I need to go back through it and see if there's like something identifiable. I don't think I usually take things down except for that one stream where my uh one of my friends came up and was talking about, here's my social security number and my Instagram, and he just came up and just gave all types of details that I feel like are unsafe for him, so I removed that. So I just want to make sure there's no fine details in this stream, and if there's not, I think I'm okay with it being public. Yeah, I don't think there was anything identifiable. Purple, are you back? I don't want you to miss your chance, so I can stall. Okay, let's stall. So what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, or what I wanted to talk about tomorrow, but I feel like it usually gets pushed to Monday because the weekend is my working time. That's when I try and make video essays or something. Oh, okay. My apologies, Purple Lava. I'm going to remove you now and add Purple Lava. Welcome.
Hi,
Hi, you're back and we can hear you. You are loud and clear.
I'm glad. I got an echo for some reason now. It's just been weird. What I was saying earlier is that I was so grateful for you sharing your story because my father had gone through the same experience as you.
Mm.
And he had a hard time initially getting through it. And then I came along and that kind of helped some. But he did wind up having a very happy life and moving forward. And it's just one of those things that just takes one day at a time. And because of you opening up, you're you kind of another one of the people that's kind of making me want to share my entire story because my story is kind of interesting in its own right. But I am so grateful for you sharing it because it's not a lot of men who are willing to be vulnerable and share their experiences. And like I was asking about you earlier in the chat, the reason why I was doing that is because often when you're the strong friend, people don't check up on you the way that is really needed because they're so used to us being the strong ones. They don't realize that sometimes strong friends need support too. Because everybody feel like they can come to you and, you know, with their issues. But sometimes we don't feel like we can share our stuff with other people sometimes. So you did an amazing job. Always look forward to seeing you. I've asked for you at times in the Themis and Thoth chat. And I love the way you banter with Themis. You have a true talent. I am so proud of the work that you and Themis are doing. And just keep it up. I know sometimes it's going to feel like, why am I doing this? But you have such a powerful healing message. So never take that for granted. You're really amazing, Prince Petty. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. That might have given me the energy to clean my room today. I might finally do it. Look, y'all ain't gonna see this background looking like that no more. Not with a speech like that. Um, if I after a speech like that, if I come back on the next stream and the background still look how it does, then I have failed y'all. But thank you. I really appreciate the appreciation.
You're welcome.
Now, as far as story sharing, what I think I'm going to do is I've tried to make a certain I did not remove her. Hello? Well, I've tried to make a certain level of safety around YouTube, but I realize as I get bigger and bigger, mind you, I'm not a very big YouTube channel as far as YouTube sizes of big channels. But even now, it's difficult to maintain my it's difficult for me to monitor every video, what comments are on every video, and what people are saying and doing. Like I'm looking in my YouTube shows you all your comments in a section, all of them ever. And you can filter them by word and stuff like that. And YouTube holds certain comments for review. There are literally people who are all types of anti-Semitic, anti-Black stuff that they were saying on the Color Purple video that YouTube filtered out, but sometimes they'll like try to circumvent the filter that YouTube has, or try to like mask certain words. Like y'all know how we say grape to get past like YouTube. Like they'll do stuff like that and be making all types of derogatory comments. Somebody was over here talking about all Black people do is whine. Or something like they were saying some really racist stuff after I was talking about some white guy who said the N-word. So it becomes more and more difficult for me to police that as the channel grows larger. And I don't think I'll actually be able to keep that as tight knit as I would like to, which if you guys follow me on Instagram and you've seen that video of mine that's going viral, white racist people felt really, really comfortable coming in the comments. And I was like going in and deleting comments every single night for like hours at a time. And I cannot get through all of them. I think it's up past like nearly 800,000 likes. I think it's at 15 or 16 million views, and thousands of comments. I literally cannot go through it and police it anymore. It is impossible for me. It's not impossible, but like, it is for me right now. Like it would take a lot of effort for me to do that. And that's just one video on, y'all better go and look for it. Yeah, I'm not showing it to y'all, but that's just one video. So imagine having like a multiple or just one live stream a week, which I've done for maybe like a year or 2 or 3, I don't know, but like yeah, that adds up a lot, and I can't go through all of them. So instead of trying to make my YouTube community safe and police it stringently, I think I'm going to rely on I think a certain type of people gather here generally. So I think those comments should be few and far in between. Generally, it's probably going to be Black women mostly, and Black men. Kenny, if you're in the comments, and I saw Themis here, and we're generally aligned a certain way. So the comments are generally going to look a certain way. And even when we disagree with each other, it's usually respectful and nobody is attacking anybody. So I'm going to rely on our community to be good generally. And then in the Discord, that's where I'm really going to put my effort into policing and making sure we have a safe space where you can feel comfortable to share whatever you want to share. Because I didn't remove her. Hopefully Purple said everything that she wanted to say. I was just thanking her for coming up at the end anyway, but I'm going to put a link to the Discord in the comments if you guys don't know about it yet. There we go. My Discord is very basic. There's a space for members. Nobody uses it. No YouTube members use it. None of y'all. Y'all don't use it at all, ever. And then there's a general space where we just talk. There's a Kenny inspired space. Welcome. Okay, Kenny, you're ghost watching, where we share memes. And there's a movie space where we look at movies and books and series that we want to review. I think right now we were supposed to watch Insecure a long time ago. The last thing we watched was They Cloned Tyrone. Where is it? We're supposed to be, it's a legal series. How How to Get Away with Murder or something with Viola Davis in it. Like it's all over the place. So we need to decide what we're going to watch and review. But other than that, yeah, hopefully the Discord is a safe space where you can come and share things and feel safe without. YouTube is somewhere where any and everybody in the world can look in. Obviously, not everybody is coming to my video, but they can. All it takes is for one thing to go viral or to be clipped by somebody for like, we've seen what happened to Kimberly Foster, right? Which I think is disgusting, where the Manosphere literally sends in people to attack a channel and say all types of degrading things and like completely invalidate an environment that someone has procured that is safe. Or if you guys know Khadijah and Bowie, they're a big YouTuber in, I think, BreadTube, Cornbread Tube, whatever it is. And I remember Abba and Preach made a video about them, and they were critiquing her, and all of Abba and Preach's followers came over to her comments and they were like, you're stupid, this isn't what men want. Like, and it feels so, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like YouTube is the place where I can really make an environment that's safe, no matter how hard I try. But the Discord, yeah, we're gonna go in there and talk. So thank you everybody who came in today. I do appreciate those who came up and shared, or those who just stood in solidarity today. I did get some messages on my phone that I'll check. I'm trying to do better about checking the Discord, Instagram, and text messages while I'm streaming, because I'm doing a terrible job. Literally, somebody could be, Abba and Preach could be messaging me on Instagram like, let me join the stream, and I wouldn't even know because I don't check it that well. So I'm trying to do better on that. But yeah, guys, like Purple just said, take it one day at a time. Start with small things. I think that's really good. I'm going to clean my room. It's not the biggest room in the house. The living room / kitchen, this is a studio, is the biggest room. So I'm just about to walk past this mess and go clean the bedroom. I'm gonna go clean the small room. That's easier. It's a small task, but it does feel nice to accomplish something. And I do think having a clean space, if you are feeling depressed or unalivey, I think having a clean space really, really improves how you feel. Even if it's something as simple as cleaning the bathroom or wiping down counters or washing dishes or something like that. You don't have to like go and clean your whole house all day, every day, but like just doing something and accomplishing something, I think will make you feel better. And I would also, since my friend and I were talking about it, I would also invest in self-care, and be selfish, and make sure you are like something as small as brushing your teeth, or doing your hair if that's what makes you feel pretty or handsome, or washing your face, or I'm about to go wash my face because my lips and my face feel dry. Oh, you know why? Because I washed my face before the stream, but I didn't do moisturizer or anything. And you know, when you step out the shower, if you have skin like mine, it just dries up if you don't moisturize or do anything. So I need to go and fix that before it's flaky, because walking around with flaky, crusty skin might make you feel down. And that's something easy that you can do to improve your mood. Like when you look in the mirror and you're proud of what you look in the mirror at, I think that really, really does well to improve your mood. When you go in your living room and it's clean, I think that does really well to improve your mood. And a lot of people don't think about that. And that's just something small. Like you don't have to go to, I'm not about to say you don't have to go to therapy. I do think if you need professional help, you need professional help. But there are some things that you can do that most people look over that I think would really, really help you if you guys are struggling with that. So thank you for coming. You guys can like the video if you want to. I think I'm going to leave it up for, I'm about to watch it on 2 times. So I'll probably leave it up for 45 minutes to an hour while I'm watching it, just to see what's in it. And if I feel like there's anything too private in it, I'm probably going to private it or make it members only. And if it's fine, then I'll leave it up. So if you want to like it, you can. If it's gone, that just means something happened with it. And I felt like it was too personal or something. So thank you all for coming. And thank you those people who just caught a live for the first time, or who are just here for the first time. Talking to you, Mocha Coffee. Goodbye, everybody. And I guess I'll see you all in the Discord.